The lights in the auditorium shift to a warm, golden glow as a thin Filipino man steps onto the Ireland's Got Talent stage. His clothes are worn, the kind that show years of hard work rather than style. His shoes are scuffed, his hands trembling as he grips the microphone like it is the only thing keeping him upright. He clears his throat, eyes darting nervously across the judges' table. Simon Cowell watches him with that sharp, unreadable stare, arms folded, while Amanda leans forward with a gentle smile that only makes the man more emotional. Simon's voice cuts through the silence. "Hello, what's your name?" The man swallows hard before answering. "Ramon, sir. I'm from Cebu City. I work here in Ireland as a cleaner." His voice cracks just slightly, enough for the audience to shift uncomfortably, sensing the weight he carries. Amanda gives an encouraging nod. "And what will you be singing for us today, Ramon?" Ramon's eyes glisten as he answers. "Elvis Presley, ma'am. My father used to play him every night when we lived in Cebu. He passed away last year. I promised him that one day I'd try singing on a real stage." Amanda's hand flies to her chest, eyes filling instantly. Even Simon's expression softens a fraction. Behind them, the audience quiets to a single heartbeat. Ramon inhales sharply, closing his eyes as though speaking to his father, whispering a final prayer before the music begins. The first note plays, soft, familiar, and then Ramon begins. The tone of his voice shocks the audience immediately. It is deep, warm, trembling with emotion yet impossibly close to Elvis in richness. But it's not imitation, there is a raw sincerity in Ramon's voice that makes the entire room lean in. Simon uncrosses his arms, leaning forward slightly, eyebrows lifting in surprise. Amanda's lips part in awe. Ramon sings as if the world is slipping away, as if he has stepped into a memory. His voice fills the studio, powerful and aching, climbing through each lyric with a depth that can only come from a life built on struggle and hope. The camera shows the audience's stunned faces, some smiling, some wiping away tears. By the final note, the room is frozen, suspended in silence. Ramon lowers the microphone slowly, chest rising and falling from the effort. And then the applause erupts. A wave of cheering, shouting, clapping breaks like a storm. People leap to their feet. Ramon blinks in disbelief, tears welling again. He brings a hand to his mouth, shaking with emotion. Simon rises slowly, unable to hide the shock in his eyes. His voice is softer than usual, almost breaking. "Ramon, that wasn't just a performance. That was Elvis. You didn't copy him, your soul connected to him. And your father, he would be proud, son." Ramon covers his face, crying openly as the studio lights warm him like a sunrise he never believed he'd see. The stage is still glittering with the last traces of applause from Ramon's audition, but now the atmosphere has shifted into something deeper, heavier, as he stands once again in the center of the Ireland's Got Talent stage for the next round. His heart pounds so loudly he thinks the audience might hear it. He wipes his palms against his old jeans, the only pair he owns that still look decent. Backstage, he had whispered a prayer for courage, imagining his father's voice telling him to sing with honesty, not perfection. The lights dim until the stage feels like a single soft spotlight resting on him. The judges settle into their seats, though something about them looks different tonight. Amanda's eyes are already glassy, as if the story of the poor man from Cebu has stayed with her. Simon sits almost too still, watching Ramon with a quiet intensity that is rarely gentle but tonight, somehow, is. Ramon lifts the microphone. His voice trembles as he whispers, "This is for my father, and for everyone who believes they're too small to dream big." The music begins, slow, delicate, the opening of "Can't Help Falling in Love." His breath catches, but instead of fighting it, he lets the emotion settle into his voice. When he sings the first line, it floats across the room like a fragile thread, weaving its way into every heart present. His tone is soft, richer than before, filled not only with talent but with wounds, memories, and a longing only a poor man carrying years of sacrifice can express. People hold their breath. Amanda presses her hands together under her chin, tears already beginning to fall at the sincerity of his voice. Louis's eyebrows lift as though he's witnessing a moment far bigger than a talent competition. And Simon, he leans forward, his jaw clenched, eyes brightening in a way that shocks even him. Then the chorus hits. Ramon's voice rises with unexpected strength, his control flawless despite the trembling emotion running through his body. The audience begins standing, one row at a time, swayed by the feeling pouring from him. Ramon doesn't even see them, he's lost in the memory of singing Elvis songs with his father on humid nights in Cebu, dreaming of a life they both believed impossible. As he reaches the final lingering note, his voice cracks, beautifully, honestly. The arena erupts into applause, but Ramon hardly has a second to breathe before something happens that no one expects. Simon stands. Then he slams his hand onto the golden buzzer with a force that echoes through the entire building. A burst of golden confetti rains from the ceiling like a miracle descending straight onto Ramon. He gasps, knees buckling as he collapses to the floor. Tears stream down his face. Amanda rushes onto the stage, wrapping him in a tearful embrace. Louis claps wildly, shouting praises. Simon walks toward the stage slowly, eyes misty, his voice breaking as he says, "Ramon, you didn't just sing. You brought Elvis back to life. And you reminded us why music matters." Ramon cries harder, lifting handfuls of golden confetti as if holding his own dream for the first time in his life. The arena is packed, every seat filled, every light blazing with the energy of a night that feels historic. Ramon stands backstage, clutching the edges of his old jacket, the same one he brought from Cebu City when he first arrived in Ireland with nothing but a suitcase and a prayer. He refuses to replace it. It reminds him of where he came from, of nights walking home after long cleaning shifts, dreaming of moments like these even when reality told him not to. A stagehand taps his shoulder. "You're up, Ramon." He steps forward. The roar of the crowd hits him like a warm wind. He blinks into the brightness, feeling his heart thump against his ribs. Behind him, the giant LED screens flicker to life, showing scenes of Cebu City, narrow streets, tricycles weaving through traffic, small sari-sari stores, little kids running barefoot, laughing despite the poverty. It is his home, his soul displayed for the world. The audience quiets instantly. He lifts the microphone, hands shaking. The judges look at him with a softness that wasn't there during his first audition. Amanda wipes her eyes just seeing him, Louis gives him a confident nod. But it's Simon's expression, serious, steady, emotional, that nearly makes Ramon lose his breath. The music begins, the opening chords of "If I Can Dream," a song that demands power and truth. Ramon closes his eyes, hearing his father's voice, remembering long nights of storms, hunger, and hope. When he sings, his voice erupts with a strength that shocks even him. It isn't just singing, it's a life story in every note. The arena falls silent as his voice fills every corner. He belts the lyrics with a mix of desperation and fire, his tone deep and haunting like Elvis but still undeniably his own. The screens behind him shift to images of his childhood, carrying water buckets, helping his mother in a tiny kitchen, watching his father fix radios while Elvis music played from an old speaker. Each image hits the audience like a wave. Amanda breaks first, tears streaming freely as she presses her hand to her heart. Louis turns away for a moment, overwhelmed. Even the camera zooms in on audience members crying, holding each other, touched by the rawness of his performance. By the time Ramon reaches the final, soaring lines, he lifts his face toward the lights as if singing directly to the heavens. His voice cracks, not from weakness, but from the weight of dreams long denied. The last note echoes. Silence follows. Complete, breathless silence. Then the audience explodes into a standing ovation so loud it feels like the arena might lift off the ground. People scream his name. Ramon! Ramon! The chant builds until it vibrates through his chest. Amanda stands, crying openly. "You're singing every dream of every poor child in the world," she says through tears. "You're a miracle, Ramon." Louis wipes his eyes. "You didn't perform, you transformed this stage." Simon stands slowly, tears streaming down his face. There is no sarcasm, no toughness, no walls, only admiration. "Ramon," he says softly, voice breaking, "you are no longer the cleaner from Cebu City. Tonight, you are the man who shook Ireland." Ramon's lips tremble as he takes it all in. The crowd chants his name again, louder, stronger. And for the first time in his life, he feels like his dream is not just alive, it is unstoppable.